Bell just rang. I'm watching Tiffany Stratton defend the women's championship against Bayley. This is Tiffany's first title defense on SmackDown. I'm expecting Tiffany Stratton to win, obviously. I mean, they didn't give her the title just to take it away. Bayley is a legit contender, but Tiffany's got to win because I expect her to walk into WrestleMania as champion. If I had to take a guess, my guess is that Roxanne Perez is going to cost Bayley here because they had a run-in on NXT earlier this week. That would be what makes sense. And I also expect Bayley to face Roxanne Perez at one of the PLEs coming up, either the Rumble or maybe at WrestleMania. Because Bayley's not really doing much right now. She was women's champion last year. She's gotten plenty of rematches for the title, including this one right here. She's getting another shot at the title. But it looks like her time in the women's title picture is going to be put on pause for the time being after this match, I'm guessing, assuming she doesn't win here. Tiffany Stratton just did a kip up and knocked down Bayley. Tiffany Stratton just did some backflips, basically showing off her gymnastics background here. Oh, wow. She did she did like a matrix move like Trish Stratus does. Bayley just went for the Bayley to belly. But Tiffany blocked it, threw her in the corner. Bayley now just did an arm drag off the ropes. Yeah, they're basically showcasing Tiffany's athleticism here. I fully expect Tiffany Stratton to face either Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. I'm expecting Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch to be in the Rumble, and one of them's going to win and challenge Tiffany. I want to see Becky versus Tiffany. If Charlotte faces Tiffany, I could see that as well. But I think Becky versus Tiffany is the match to make. Charlotte has been gone for such a long time that it's almost like when Trish Stratus comes back, it's like you don't actually expect her to win any of her feuds because she's just a part-time wrestler. If Charlotte comes back, I don't expect her to beat Tiffany Stratton. I mean, it's like Tiffany's the future. Charlotte is almost 40 years old. I think she wants to have a family with her husband Andrade. So what's the point of beating her? They just had a commercial break. They're back now. Bayley is in control of Tiffany. Again, it's just been a little bit of back and forth here and there between these two so far in this match. Showing off Tiffany's athleticism. Bayley goes for a roll-up and Tiffany kicks out. I think the whole point of this match is to show that Tiffany isn't, like a joke or something. Because, for most of the past year, Tiffany has been hiding behind Nia Jax. She hasn't really been able to show what she can do one-on-one in a big-time match while on the main roster. She showed that in NXT, but now she's showing it here when the lights are on bright. Bayley's still in control. Also, I don't expect Tiffany to lose to either Becky or Charlotte because Tiffany is super popular. I mean, people were waiting for her to win this women's title for a long time now. I mean, ever since she won that Money in the Bank briefcase. Actually, even earlier than that, as soon as she got up to the main roster, she was super popular with the fans, even though she was a heel. They were cheering her all year last year. And it just kept escalating and escalating and escalating until it reached its peak when she finally cashed in and won the title. Tiffany is looking good against Bayley so far. I think this is an important match to establish Tiffany's credibility as champion. And so far, so good. It's funny that Bayley is a babyface, but it seems like this crowd is really on Tiffany's side, to be honest. They don't want Tiffany to lose the title. Even though they might like Bayley, they don't want Tiffany to lose the title. She just got it. Tiffany now has Bayley in submission hold with her arms, Bayley's arm. Yeah, they're dueling chants for these two now, which they're in California. That's where Bayley's from. So that's a good sign for Tiffany's future as a babyface. If you're getting dueling chants with Bayley, who is one of the longest tenured members of the women's roster, in her home state, you're doing good. And remember, they just mentioned on commentary, Tiffany is actually the reason why Bayley lost the women's title at SummerSlam last year. Tiffany continues to work on Bayley's left arm and shoulder. They're outside the ring. Tiffany just threw her into the barricade, shoulder first. I'm glad they're giving them time, because a lot of times women's matches, even on the main roster, they don't get a ton of time on TV. And these two are two people who should be given time, since they're at the top of the women's roster. Not just on SmackDown, but in the entire company. Yeah, I would be really disappointed if either Becky or Charlotte defeated Tiffany for the title. They really shouldn't do that, and it is possible they're going for that. Because remember, when was the last time we saw Charlotte at WrestleMania? I believe it was against Rhea Ripley, and everyone loved their match, and Charlotte lost clean to Rhea Ripley. That was the right thing to do. But if she comes back and beats Tiffany, I don't know. Even if it's because they want to have a long program between the two. Tiffany should not lose that title to somebody who's not going to be full-time for many years to come. Like, if she loses that title, it should be to like a stellar performer full-time who's been around. And that's the same thing for Cody Rhodes and many of today's champions. They, like, Gunther shouldn't lose to just anybody. Cody shouldn't lose to just anybody. Tiffany and Rhea Ripley shouldn't lose to just anybody. Those four people are so important for the future of the WWE, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. So when they lose, it should be like a big deal, and it should be to set up another future star, not just somebody coming back for a big WrestleMania paycheck. No offense to Charlotte. I mean, she has had an incredible career, incredible matches, way too many title reigns. Tiffany, outside the ring, again. Oh, Tiffany ran around the ring and Bayley elbowed her and knocked her down. So far, this is a pretty like 50-50 match here. Which is the right thing to do, because they can't just, if they just have Tiffany steamroll Bayley, boy, I mean, that would mean, like, I wouldn't expect to see Bayley anywhere near the women's title for a long, long time. Speaking of Roxanne Perez, even even if Bayley and her are going to feud right now, I mean, I was expecting Bayley to face Chelsea Green for the title, the US title, at WrestleMania. I mean, I think that's the feud to make, because they were at odds last year when Bayley was feuding with Piper Niven. So you got a built-in story. I don't know where Roxanne Perez fits into all this. Maybe it'll be a triple threat. Again, more 50-50 stuff here. Bayley went to dive onto Tiffany outside the ring. Tiffany elbowed her in the head. I'm still not entirely sure whether Tiffany is a babyface or a heel, because she's doing some heelish stuff right here. She's not cheating, but still. The other thing is, if they put Tiffany Stratton against Charlotte Flair, Charlotte's going to get booed. I mean, that's another problem. Unless Charlotte comes back as a heel. But they showed a promo video for Charlotte's return, and she doesn't look like a heel in that video. Oh, wow. That could have been bad. Oh, Tiffany dove outside the ring. Bayley caught her and gave her a Bayley to belly on the mat outside. Now both are out, laying on the ground outside. They went to a commercial. They're back. Both women still out on the outside of the ring. They're being presented as equals in this match. Nobody really has had a decided advantage at all. They both just got in the ring at the same time. So, I mean, they really want to make them look like they're on the same level. Tiffany Stratton has come up very quickly. I mean, she only started wrestling a couple of years ago. Obviously, she was an incredible athlete before that, but how many times have we seen incredible athletes fizzle out when they become pro wrestlers? But not Tiffany. She hit the lottery in terms of pro wrestling. She's on top of the world right now after such a short period of time. And I'm not saying she got handed anything, because she's a fun character. You know, the crowd is really connected to her, connected with her. And Bayley is fighting back now, making a comeback. Oh, knee to Tiffany's solar plexus. Bayley just went for a cover, and Tiffany got the shoulder up right before the count of three. I think Tiffany is a heel here because, I mean, they've mentioned that Tiffany is the one who cost Bayley the title. Tiffany's been acting a little bit heelish in this match. I'm guessing she's a heel. I mean, it's been a little weird for all these months because Tiffany has been aligned with Nia Jax, and then she teases being a babyface and turning on Nia Jax, which she eventually did, but then she still retains some of her heelishness. So it's like, I don't know, I guess it's like a anti-hero type of a character here. Bayley just used one of Mercedes Moné's moves, knees to the midsection while Tiffany was caught up in the middle ropes. And went for a cover. Tiffany kicks out. Yeah, I mean, I think this match is doing a good job of... Oh. Tiffany just did like a... like a low drop kick to Bayley's face. Went for a cover. Bayley kicks out. I mean, this match really hasn't gotten out of first gear yet. I mean, it's a pretty lengthy match already so far. Bayley looks like she's about to go for a superplex on Tiffany. They're on the top rope here. And she pulls it off. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing from the beginning is just, you know, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. Bayley goes for the cover after a superplex. Tiffany gets the shoulder up. But there's really not much rhyme or reason to this match. It's like, it looks like somebody's about to squeak out a win. Whoever wins this one. And again, I still expect Roxanne Perez to interfere here. I mean, that would make sense. Bayley specifically told Roxanne that she was going to win the women's title on SmackDown, and then they got into a fight. So what do you think is going to happen? All right. Tiffany Stratton, top rope here. People cheering. Whoa, Swanton Bomb. Picture perfect on Bayley. And then, whoa, Power Bomb on Bayley. See, and then Bayley kicked out of that. See, I don't like that. Okay, now Tiffany's got an armbar on Bayley. I don't like when you do moves like a Swanton as a finisher, followed right after by a power bomb, and then people are still kicking out. See, that's the problem in wrestling today. They do too many finishers and then kickouts, finishers and kickouts, so then nothing means anything. Like on AEW recently, Chris Jericho hit Dax Harwood, I think that's his name, Dax Harwood, part of FTR, in the face with a title belt, immediately went for the pin, and Dax gets the shoulder up. He got hit in the face with the title belt after a lengthy match. Yeah, I mean, they do this too much. Even in the CM Punk Seth Rollins match, this seems to be just like a common theme in wrestling today. It's just too many finishers, too many kickouts, and so absolutely nothing means anything. And then a lot of times the finish falls flat because people are like, well, you've already shown us everything, and everybody kicked out of everything. Roxanne Perez, now they show her standing behind the barricade, ringside, during this match. Okay, so now you know Roxanne's getting involved. Bayley just suplexed Tiffany Stratton off the announce table onto the mat outside, by the way. See, there's not a lot of selling. Remember, Bayley just got a Swanton Bomb and a Power Bomb. She kicks out at the last second, and yet she's still like acting like it's the beginning of the match. Bayley just hit her big elbow off the top rope. See, there's not enough selling at all. And you have to remember, like, Bayley had the shoulder thing that Tiffany was working the whole match, her shoulder, left shoulder and left arm. Okay, she's selling it a little now, but still, she's been able to pull off all these moves. Oh, Tiffany just arm dragged her. Man, this is not a good match. I'm sorry to say, this is not making anybody look good. Yes, they are performing moves, and everything looks fine, but this is like what you would see in a practice match at the performance center. It's just like making sure each woman knows how to perform all the moves. It's there's no logic, and because again, even though Tiffany's been working on Bayley's shoulder and arm, it's not having any effect. Bayley just hit the Bayley to belly on Tiffany. Tiffany gets the shoulder up. Again, too many pinfall attempts and too many kickouts. Way too many. Okay, Tiffany just attacked the left arm of Bayley, and now it looks like she's going for prettiest moonsault ever. Bayley blocks it. I mean, Tiffany... Okay, she's about to counter this, watch. Oh, okay. Bayley just did like a sunset flip power bomb into the lower turnbuckle, but let me guess, Tiffany's going to kick out, right? From this cover? Yes, of course she is. Yeah, you know, I put the fault on Bayley. Bayley should be able to come up with a better match than this. And Bayley has been like pretending that she's hurt in terms of her arm and shoulder. Okay. Yeah, this is the longer this goes on, the more I'm like, this is just bad stuff. Because they're just performing moves. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. And there are people in WWE who can put on matches that are pretty awesome. And even recently, like, I don't know, whatever the PLE where Braun Breaker, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser had a triple threat match. That was a good match. Everything was logical, made sense, and it was good. You know, they knew what they were doing. Bayley went for the Rose Plant and Alabama Slam by Tiffany. Now Tiffany goes for prettiest moonsault ever, and she hits it. And she wins. Wow, she pinned Bayley clean. Well, I guess that's good for Tiffany, bad for Bayley. But it's just, that was not a interesting match. It was almost showing like these two don't know how to have a good match. Even though I'm sure that they do, like this wasn't it.